From the hangar in Lancaster, California, I'm Jacobo.
And I'm Angel.
On this episode of L28 News, we take a closer look at Teen Driving Awareness Month, a feature on the Antelope Valley Transit Authority which provides residents with zero-emission public transportation, a stop by the MOAH as they welcome their latest exhibit, Formation, and coverage of the groundbreaking at Mariposa Park, which will bring about extensive renovations.
Followed by Melissa Reischmann's Artist Talk and her Young Artist Workshop at the MOAH Cedar. Afterwards, we speak with one of the live performers of Lancaster's 2023 Poppy Fest, along with a recap of high school varsity basketball, the Highland Bulldogs visiting the Lancaster Eagles.
As we ring in the new year and get back into the swing of things, it's important to highlight the annual observance of Teen Driving Awareness Month, which is recognized every January in an effort to curb the prevalence of accidents involving teen drivers while promoting safer practices through education and public discourse. What once began as Teen Driving Awareness Day quickly evolved into Awareness Week, and now emphasizing the need to do more in this regard, we now have an entire month dedicated to talking about this serious issue, with the goal of reinforcing safe behavior in young adult drivers. This is not only an issue nationwide, but also locally. In Lancaster, 23% of drivers ages 16 to 25 years old were found to be at fault in reported vehicle collisions. In the United States, roughly 2,800 teens between the ages of 13 and 19 years old are killed every year in car accidents, and about 227,000 more are injured. The CDC states that the risk of motor vehicle crashes is higher amongst teens 16 through 19 years old than any other age group. Per mile driven, teen drivers in this age group have a fatal crash rate almost 3 times as high as drivers ages 20 years and older. With staggering statistics such as these, it raises the question if there's more we can do as a community to play our part in preventing and subsequently reducing the number of reported injuries and fatalities from vehicle-involved collisions every year. The City of Lancaster seeks to raise awareness while taking a proactive approach towards addressing this issue with programs like See and Be Seen, a traffic engineering endeavor that implemented highly visible graphics at intersections and traffic signals throughout the city. A reminder encouraging drivers and pedestrians alike to put down their phones and navigate safely without distractions. This program actively seeks to improve the motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians' crash statistics in Lancaster by educating school-aged children about active transportation safety. By teaching these safeguards to kids and teens in the community, the City of Lancaster hopes to inspire a generational behavior change, which it hopes will result in fewer traffic crashes, injuries, and fatalities. To stay informed on the ongoing and future traffic safety programs here in the City of Lancaster, visit our website by scanning the QR code shown on your screen.
You know, Jacobo, while I was attending Eastside, there was one day where throughout the day, people would get on the intercom and they would announce that students had passed away in traffic-related incidents. And once the bell rang and everybody was out of class, the front lawn would be filled with these dead students who had tombstones next to them. And it was really nice to see the school taking efforts to raise awareness for things like this. And now the City of Lancaster has the See and Be Seen program. It's super heartwarming to see.
Yeah, I think that program at your school, like you mentioned, Eastside, is really eye-opening, right? Because it could happen to any one of us, you know? So I think these proactive approaches of improving young drivers' safety is really essential because the statistics speak for themselves, so.
With climate change at the forefront of countless Americans' attention, it's important that we continue striving towards a more sustainable future. That's why the Antelope Valley Transit Authority, or AVTA for short, continues to break barriers by producing net zero emissions with their all-electric zero-emission transit agency, the first of its kind in the nation. Since 2016, the board of the AVTA has pledged to operate a 100% battery-operated fleet of vehicles, which now includes 57 BYD all-electric zero-emission buses, 10 Green Power EV Star micro-transit vans, and 20 MCI battery-electric commuter coaches to safely and sustainably transport residents of the Antelope Valley. The AV Transit Authority has made history by successfully developing the first all-electric bus fleet in North America in 2020, and the first ever all-electric commuter fleet most recently in 2022. The AVTA provides daily local, commuter, and dial-a-ride services to a booming population of more than 542,000 residents across a territory that spans the cities of Lancaster and Palmdale and northern Los Angeles County. The AVTA's total service area covers roughly a 1,200 square mile radius, which is bounded by the Kern County line to the north, the San Bernardino County line to the east, the Angeles National Forest to the south, and Interstate 5 to the west. Most recently, the AV Transit Authority has continued their clean energy efforts by placing 4 all-new 2023 electric Chevy Bolts into service to support fixed-route transit operations. So the next time you ride one of AVTA's all-electric buses, take comfort in the thought that you are helping the ongoing fight against climate change. For more information about AVTA, including their current bus routes and schedules, scan the QR code shown on your screen.
Angel, taking a break from the news, wasn't it really fun to visit AVTA while we were shooting on Tiff on the Town?
I agree. It was super awesome to see. It was nice to actually go into the shop where they maintenance the buses, get to see the undercarriages of them. They have the backs of the bus open. It was so clean in there because they're all electric, so there's no gas or oil anywhere. Super cool.
Yeah, I thought that was also very interesting because usually when you're in, a mechanic shop or a car shop, you think like it's a little dirty, there's oil on the ground, there's grease stains. Spotless.
Dude, so thank you to the AVTA for all that you do. Don't go anywhere. When we return from the break, we'll be taking a look at Formation, the first exhibit to make a home at the Museum of Art and History in 2024, followed by groundbreaking from Mariposa Park's transformation.
Welcome back to L28 News. Next up, we stop by the Museum of Art and History on the Boulevard for the grand opening of Formation, the latest exhibition that focuses on clay and sculptures, followed by coverage of the groundbreaking ceremony at Mariposa Park as they begin scheduled renovations and upgrades. January 13th marked a special day for the Museum of Art and History as it unveiled its first exhibition of 2024, Formation. The exhibition compiled the works of 9 artists whose individual series showcased the malleability of clay and its versatility in the world of art. Let's head to the MOAH to take a closer look at the latest exhibit and speak with some of the talented artists whose work is on display. Here's Angel Stephenson with more.
Hello everyone, it's Angel from L28 News, and I'm standing inside of the Boulevard's Museum of Art and History where they're doing their opening reception for their latest exhibit, Formation. Let's take a closer look at the exhibit and talk to some of the artists. The first group exhibition of 2024, Formation, captivated guests of all ages as they walked through a series of work from artists who showcase the different forms that clay can take on as a medium in art. From the MOAH, here's Robert Benitez to tell viewers more about Formation's background.
So Formation is a collection of 9 solo exhibitions, each dealing with ceramic or clay in some way. Overall, Formation is about clay's inherent connection to the body and wanting to talk about the body and both the body and clay's fragility and strength and how they work together to create a really dynamic piece of artwork.
The main gallery is home to Gallia Lynn's Guardians and Vessels, which showcases the fragility of mankind through ceramics and site-responsive installations. Kyle Johnson's Notes on a Morning Walk pieces can be seen by guests heading to the second gallery, the intricately carved works inspiring wonder and curiosity in the viewer. Let's head to the MOAH's upstairs gallery to hear from some of the artists. Welcoming guests to the top floor is Sean Yang's Touch the True Self Within.
I drew my inspiration from material world and social world and spiritual world. So for the Coca-Cola Buddha head pieces and the black head pieces, it's informed by law of nature and the spiritual world.
Let's hear from Kevin Kowalski, creator of Sculptural Landscapes, which lies adjacent to Touch the True Self Within.
Inspiration is really just the landscapes around me and everyone wherever you live. It's really just kind of capturing textures and layers. I actually collect rocks from local places that I've gone to and kind of shove them into the clay, wedge them into the clay and put them on the surface and then add layers of glazes on top and put them into a kiln and really let everything melt together and encapsulate that like moment in time that is represented there.
Camilla Taylor's The Knot ushers guests into a world of monochromatic sculptures. From the Museum of Art and History, here's Camilla with more.
The inspiration behind my artwork broadly is about consciousness and how we experience ourselves often as a stranger. And the inspiration behind this piece specifically is about losing yourself in the whole and self-consciousness, being aware, self-aware. So to be fully aware of yourself is kind of a painful experience, to be watching yourself. How many of us over the pandemic, instead of being alone with our thoughts, decided absolutely not, I'm going to learn how to make sourdough bread. So sort of the desire to lose yourself and to find yourself at the same time, the strangeness of being a person and being aware.
A short walk away lies Elise Pignolet's Hysterical, a collection that includes themes of political and social issues. Let's hear more from the artist.
My background is in ceramics. That's what I studied in college. And with the blue and white, I'm really drawing inspiration from traditions that are global at this point. I'm inspired by that. And I like the idea that if, whatever your background, it's familiar. And then I use that to make my commentary on the world today.
Alana Mann's Bellows and Quakes can be seen on display throughout the halls of the second gallery. Here's the artist with more about her creation.
So I do activism and organizing locally in Los Angeles, and so a lot of the rattles come from just my own experiences of demonstrating and organizing. The rattles are made from different kinds of clay. So if it's porcelain, then it's more time consuming. If it's another kind of clay, it's a little bit less.
The Museum of Art and History's opening reception for Formation was a success, as guests were given the opportunity to create dialogue with the artists, to learn more about their pieces, and admire them in a new light. Well, thank you for following along as we take a look at the Museum of Art and History's Formation exhibit. This is Angel Stephenson with L28 News.
If you'd like to stay up to date with all things going on in Lancaster's art hubs, feel free to scan the QR code shown on screen.
Jacobo, it was so cool to see how clay can take on so many forms in the world of art. There was tiles that were painted on. There's an entire wall full of birds in like different positions that are like 3D, and it pops out, and there's rattles that make noise. Well, obviously a rattle is going to make noise, but they're like words are on them. It's just so
all
cool.
made out of clay.
All made out of clay by these talented artists.
You know, there's really so much you can do because like not only that, like claymation, like all the childhood movies like Wallace and Gromit or like, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Coraline.
I gotta go to the MOAH and check out Formation. Because
clay is crazy. Get it? Because crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy. In a significant move towards community development, the city of Lancaster witnessed a monumentous groundbreaking ceremony at Mariposa Park on Wednesday, January 10th. This event marked the commencement of a $3.5 million renovation project aimed at completely revamping the park located at 45755 Fig Avenue. Gracing the event were notable figures including Mayor R. Rex Parris, Parks Director Sonia Patterson, Councilman Ken Mann, and Mariposa Computer Science Magnet School Principal Eric Gold. Joining them were enthusiastic students from the school, symbolizing the future beneficiaries of this project. The ceremony, attended by 5th and 6th grade students from the school, highlighted the community's commitment to enhancing local facilities. Director Sonia Patterson emphasized the project's significance, stating, quote, "This is another step towards building a better and more inclusive future for our city." The renovation will introduce a range of new features, including a fully inclusive playground, picnic ramada, upgraded pathways, and new picnic tables, benches, and barbecue pits. In addition, the park will see improvements in landscaping, irrigation, LED lighting, and informative park signage. These enhancements are funded by a grant from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Community Development Grant Program. Furthermore, the park's fitness trail will undergo improvements, including new concrete pads, a decomposed granite surface, and modern fitness equipment, financed through the California State Department of Parks and Recreation Proposition 68 per capita funds. In a brief interview, Mayor Parris and Director Patterson shared their insights on the crucial role of public parks in community building and expressed their enthusiasm for the ongoing renovation project. Let's hear what they had to say.
Well, I love the partnership of doing it with the school district, and that, it's never made sense to me that we have parks that are homeless camps during the day. We build parks for kids and families, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to redesign this park. It's going to be magnificent, and it's going to be directed at the kids that go to school here, and so they can use it during the day. And, it's just a great partnership. And, it's a significant investment, but, if you don't have great parks, how can you be a great city?
This ceremony is to kick off our construction for the park project. We'll be revitalizing and renovating the playground, a picnic shelter, exercise equipment, new picnic tables, barbecues, LED lighting, and ADA accessible pathways for our community. We're really excited about the upgrades this will bring to our community and the engagement that our community will be able to have in the park following the upgrades. Special thank you to HUD for funding the project, as well as our California Parks and Recreation Department, Prop 68, for funding the fitness and exercise equipment.
As the groundbreaking ceremony at Mariposa Park came to a close, city officials and community members expressed optimism for the future. With the promise of new amenities and a revitalized space, Mariposa Park is set to become a vital asset for Lancaster. The project, symbolizing growth and community engagement, is expected to be completed within the coming year, eagerly awaited by residents and school children alike.
Angel, it's a really exciting time to be a local resident here in the city because not only Mariposa Park, but countless parks throughout the city are getting renovated and transformed.
I agree. It's nice to see the city of Lancaster put in the effort not only to obtain these grants, but to help beautify the city and boost that civic pride for residents and visitors. When we return from the break, L28 News will be covering Melissa Reischmann's Artist Talk, followed by a closer look at the Young Artist Workshop at the MOAH Cedar that paid homage to her exhibit, Sensory Perceptions.
Thanks for watching L28 News. Next, our team brings you a recap of the Artist Talk by LA-based artist Melissa Reischmann, followed by a workshop that she led that was inspired by her charcoal artworks. In a captivating artist talk held at the MOAH Cedar, attendees were granted a unique opportunity to delve into the creative mind of Melissa Reischmann, the mastermind behind the intriguing exhibition, Sensory Perceptions. Guests got the chance to ask a variety of questions to Reischmann, getting to know more about the mysteries behind her thought-provoking artworks, her early beginnings, and much more. Those in attendance learned that Reischmann used to be a graphic designer, but left that industry behind because she didn't feel passionate about it. When diving deeper into the sensory perception works, Reischmann shared the meaning behind their name. She said that while looking at the photograph references that there's an energy that the flowers and nature were giving off, accompanied by a meditative sound. This created dialogue amongst the group as audience members stated that Reischmann was a committed communicator, saying that they could feel a connection, specifically with her vibrant red painting that served as a backdrop for the artist and moderator. Contrary to her vibrant oil paintings done on canvas, guests wanted to know more about the charcoal works that adorned the gallery over, wondering if the artist felt any different when creating them as opposed to her colorful paintings. The artist stated that those works were a bit more simplified and honest compared to the paintings, because once they're down, they're down. They're more raw and to the point. She also stated that the processes are different as well. In her charcoal works, she deducts creating a negative image, but when working with oil, she creates the image by addition. But although the processes are different, Reischmann states that her artworks using two different mediums come from the same place within. After the discussion portion of the artist talk finished, guests browsed Melissa's Sensory Perceptions exhibit with newfound knowledge and appreciation for the works, socializing and mingling about with friends and family. The artist talk at MOAH Cedar served as a bridge between the artistic creation and its observers, creating a richer appreciation for the exhibited works. If you'd like to see more of Melissa Reischmann's work, feel free to scan the QR code shown on screen.
Once a month, the Lancaster Museum of Art and History hosts Young Artist Workshop, group art activities for the public to participate in, specifically tailored to complement the exhibitions on display in their galleries. The MOAH staff welcomed the creator of Sensory Perceptions, Melissa Reischmann, whose vibrant oil paintings and hyper-realistic charcoal drawings grace the galleries of the MOAH Cedar for the first Young Artist Workshop of the year. The artist gave a short demo of her creative process and how she gets her charcoal work started, and afterwards, guests were encouraged to use the still setup or create something from scratch. Let's head to the MOAH for more. Hello everyone, it's Angel from L28 News. I'm inside the Museum of Art and History where they're hosting a young artist workshop in dedication to Melissa Reischmann's Sensory Perceptions charcoal works. They have a still life setup where guests are able to interpret or create their own works of art. Let's take a look. At the beginning of the new year, Lancaster's main art gallery invited Melissa Reischmann, creator of Sensory Perceptions, which was on view at the MOAH Cedar, back to the city to take part in their monthly Young Artist Workshop. During the workshop, the artist made her way around the room, offering words of advice to those using the charcoal medium for the first time. Let's hear from the artist, who talks about how it feels to be a part of the workshop, which pays homage to her charcoal works.
It's interesting and fun to see everybody's take on my process. They bring their own ideas, and even though we have a still life set up, they're just doing whatever they want and really getting into the charcoal, and that's great because that's what it's for.
The Young Artist Workshops hosted at the MOAH invite community members of all ages to the gallery's classroom to take part in the crafts, as parents are able to spend quality time with their children and create lasting memories. Here's Melanie Rhoda, a parent who's been attending the MOAH's events for the past year.
They allow parents to participate. They allow special needs adults to participate. And a lot of programs don't allow the special needs adults to participate. And that just, it helps bring the community together as a whole.
The charcoal works were a subtractive process as guests spread the medium across their page and used erasers to carve out their images. Once completed, the MOAH staff took the pieces outside to be sprayed with a sealant, commemorating the workshop and preserving the artwork. Melissa Reischmann shares with viewers how she hopes the workshop will have an impact on the community.
Well, I hope it's inspiring for them, and I hope it instills a need and a desire to create more art. And some of these kids are kind of young, and one of them, real like a 4-year-old, told me, "Oh, I paint and draw all the time." And I said, "That's great, because that's something that you can do your whole life."
If you'd like to view more of the artist's work, feel free to scan the QR code on screen.
So Angel, I know you're L28's honorary MOAH correspondent, and you got a chance to witness both the charcoal works as well as the oil paintings. Which one did you prefer and why?
Ooh, I like them both for different reasons. I really like the oil paintings just because they're very vibrant. Her highlighting is incredible. Her shading is super great. It's like you're looking at an actual flower or something. It's insane.
Really?
But then you go see the charcoal works and it's like an even more flower, if
Like
that
a
makes sense.
hyper-realistic, super dramatic.
Yeah, and it's so cool to know like she has different processes for both. The charcoal work, she blacks out the page and then erases to get the flower, and it's like
Almost like backwards.
yeah, it's like how do you get that much detail from just erasing? So it's hard to choose. It's like when people have a favorite kid, you never say who the favorite is. You kind of just, or maybe you do.
There's a parent out there like,
Someone's cringing. Thanks for joining us today. When we come back from the break, today's episode will be concluding with a recap of one of the exhibitioners at the 2023 Poppy Festival, Birdman. Afterwards, L28 Sports brings you a recap of the Highland Bulldogs and Lancaster Eagles varsity basketball matchup.
congratulations on joining L28's Watch Till the End Club. We'll be ending today's episode with a closer look at one of the exhibitioners at the 2023 Poppy Festival, Birdman, followed by the Highland Bulldogs and Lancaster Eagles varsity basketball matchup. As the curtains closed on the 2023 Antelope Valley Poppy Festival, attendees were treated to an unparalleled showcase of live entertainment that left an unforgettable mark on festival attendees. Amongst the standout performances was the Birdman, Joe Crathwall, who brought a unique blend of education and entertainment that captivated the audience. With a commitment to wildlife and habitat conservation, the Birdman's live show transcends traditional presentations. Aimed at emotionally connecting the audience to the animals on display, the Birdman's mission of merging education and entertainment was inspiring. Let's head to the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds for more. This is Jacobo Garrido reporting for L28 News, and as you can see behind me, I'm currently at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds, where during last year's Poppy Festival, there was one entertainer that stood out amongst the rest, being Joe Crathwall, or better known as the Birdman. As we commence into the new year and look back at the 2023 Antelope Valley Poppy Festival, it truly proved to be a spectacular event, captivating guests with an array of one-of-a-kind entertainment. The Antelope Valley Fairgrounds transformed, offering attendees fair attractions that delighted guests of all ages. From exhilarating rides that soared through the clear Antelope Valley skies to challenging games that tested skill and luck, leaving the festival grounds buzzing with excitement. Not only that, there was a delightful array of food trucks, tantalizing taste buds with a diverse selection of culinary delights. However, the pinnacle of the event was the live shows, and one of the standout performances was the Birdman, Joe Crathwell, bringing a unique blend of education and entertainment. The Birdman enthralled the audience with a captivating showcase, adding an extra layer of wonder to an already unforgettable weekend.
Just loved birds, loved working with them. I started collecting birds in my early teens, and I was living with my grandparents up in Hayward, California, and my grandfather found an ad in the newspaper. They were looking for someone to train wild imported macaws to go to pet stores and be nice, tame pets. And I was just wanting to earn money to buy a car. And I said, well, let me use my fun skill to earn some money for a car.
Wow.
And so I rode the bus to this place every day during that summer. And in the beginning, it took me about a week to tame a bird.
Established in 1983 with a commitment to wildlife and habitat conservation, the Birdman brought a unique experience to the festival, handling truly one-of-a-kind animals in a trained and informative manner. From the outset, Joe Crathwell demonstrated his passion for wildlife conservation. The show, founded on positive reinforcement-based training, aimed to emotionally connect the audience to animals and inspire a love for wildlife.
And you had to open the door and stick your head in to see where the birds were. But when I stuck my head into this guy's cage, he was right in my face doing this. And I said, whoa, what is his story? They said, yeah, we've had him about 10 years, but he doesn't get along with other birds. Well, usually that's a sign. It means they were hand-raised, they identify as humans, they prefer to be with humans over birds. So I took them back to my place in Las Vegas. I have this huge training cage outside, and that's where we start the initial flight training. And it only took 7 days for him to realize that every time he flies to my arm, he's going to get a food treat for that.
The performance at the Poppy Festival showcased the culmination of years of expertise and dedication to a positive reinforcement training approach. The Birdman delivered a show that transcended traditional presentations, demonstrated the Birdman's versatility and creativity in show production. The 2023 Antelope Valley Poppy Festival was a testament to the Birdman's mission, a perfect fusion of education and entertainment that left a lasting impression on attendees, encouraging a deeper connection to the wonders of the animal kingdom and a renewed commitment to conservation. This has been Jacobo Garrido reporting for L28 News.
So, Jacobo, I didn't get to see the Birdman or his many plethora of birds. What was your favorite bird?
Honestly, he had like a bluish yellow macaw that was really cool because like I got to pet him and he was like really chill. But then he also had like a big vulture that was kind of like menacing and scary looking, polar opposites. So there was like a really friendly bird and then a bird that's like, I don't know if I want to pet you. But it was really cool. Joe was really in tune with his animals. So any commands, like if he would come here, like they would like literally fly on him, he'd give him a treat. And it was just cool because it was entertainment and education all in one. So if he comes back to the 2024 Poppy Festival, I think you should definitely check it out.
I'm gonna befriend the vulture.
Befriend the vulture. Let me know how that goes. Feed him first before you try to hang out with him.
Yeah, because he might try to bite me next.
Yeah.
In a highly anticipated matchup, the 2-1 Highland Bulldogs faced off against the 2-2 Lancaster Eagles in a Golden League clash. The first quarter saw intense competition with several early lead changes. Lancaster responded with going to the paint with the powerful 6'4" Abayomi Salola, aka Abby, keeping the score close and showcasing the passion and prowess of both teams. Tykeem McQueen's pull-up shot and a solid defensive display helped Highland secure an 8-0 run, extending their lead. The quarter concluded with Highland in the lead at 19-11, setting the Eagles up for an uphill battle to defend their nest. In the second quarter, the Bulldogs continued their strong play, leading 28-18 at halftime. Coach Chris Cole looked to extend his undefeated record against the Eagles, and with standout performances from Luke Manzano and Jalen Gordon in the first half, the Bulldogs were in control. Even with Alvaro Martinez's perimeter shooting efforts for Lancaster, Highland held a 10-point lead at halftime. L28's Ronnie Wald interviewed a special guest, Lancaster's high school principal Zach Mercier, who provided insights on the game and the wider Golden League. Let's check it out.
Oh, I'll tell you what, if we can make a layup, this will be a much closer game. We're getting the shots, they're just not falling, so we hope the second half switches. I like our defense. It's a low-scoring game. That's our style. We play low-scoring games. So if we hit a couple of those layups, maybe hit one or two of those threes, we'll be right.
You sound like a principal that has a broad background and one that includes basketball. All your terminology is great.
I've also coached basketball, but yeah, we're athletics brings so much to our school, and even if I wasn't a fan of basketball, I would quickly learn it because we have kids that are interested in it. And if they're interested in it, I'm interested in it. Anything that puts Lancaster on their chest, we want them to do. We want them to be a part of something. So it's also fun to be a part of it too as a fan.
Okay, let's ask you some serious questions now. This is not Meet the Press, so don't worry. But when it comes to CIF Southern Section and the possibility of some changes, they use the terminology equity and also the very distinct possibility that the Golden League might be split one day. What are some of your random thoughts on all those different situations?
Sure, I'm glad you asked that. So football has worked out great. The competitive equity has been a great addition to football, and I would love to see that in other sports. It gets more teams involved. You can equally make matchups that create competitive games, and I love it. I think it's a great idea. I'd like to see it in all sports. Now, you hit a button when you said split the Golden League. That's been talked about for years. I used to be an athletic director many, many moons ago, and we were talking about then. I don't know if that'll ever happen. We're a big league. Anything can happen. But winter sports, what I love about winter is you have basketball, soccer, wrestling. Anybody can win. It's the most competitive season of any of our sports. Highland can win league. P-Knight can win league. Palmdale can win. So many teams are involved that it really is anyone's game. That's why this game's such a big game, because if whoever wins this game really does vault themselves into playoff contention.
The third quarter showcased impressive plays, with Highland maintaining a narrow lead of 32-31. Abby Salola's significant contributions and a steal followed by a successful shot contested Highland's advantage. Even with Abby's struggles to sink free throws, Lancaster staged a comeback, heading into the fourth quarter only down by 4. The fourth quarter started with Highland in the lead, but the Eagles fought back, tying the game at 38-38 with just over a minute left. Highland's three-point shooting played a crucial role, and despite Lancaster's efforts, Highland secured the win with a final score of 50-46. Key players included Jalen Gordon and Luke Manzano for Highland, while Lancaster's Abiyomi Salola displayed an impressive double-double with 10 points and 11 rebounds. The high school basketball showdown between the Bulldogs and the Eagles was a thrilling display of passion, keeping fans on the edge of their seats until the final buzzer. A special congratulations to Lancaster's head coach, Jamal Sloan, who amidst the birth of his baby daughter handed the reins to Coach Parker. Despite his absence, Coach Parker led the Eagles to a respectful competition against the Bulldogs. To catch the next live stream of local high school sports, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at City of Lancaster, California, and help celebrate and support our local teams.
Well, thank you for tuning in to the City of Lancaster's news. I'm Jacobo.
And I'm Angel, and this has been L28 News.